Following program may contain language of an adult nature. Listener discretion is advised.
Views and opinions expressed on the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of alltalkradio.net.
We think it's the banning of
We
speech
are
First Amendment protected
anonymous.
material.
And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. My boy Maxwell Silverhammer and my bottom bitch jerk man will set you straight with some good old true shit and none of that shit that irks me. Hey Maxie baby, I still got them videos. You fill my cereal port perfectly. Bitch.
Ah, yes! Finally kicked those fuckers off the air.
It's about goddamn time. I got sick of those fucks.
Yeah, that G.J. Jerkman and Maxwell Silverhammer with all their goddamn anti-corporate
You know what?
talk.
I'm just be happy. We're gonna go celebrate right now. I think we should go do some golf and butt fuck one another.
Oh, that's the greatest. I'm ready. Hold on. Go get in the car here.
Get the hell in the other side. Another side. There you go.
There we go.
All right.
Oh, this is a great day.
I'm gonna start it up now. You ready?
These bastards.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Bora Bora, here we go.
It's the STIM Radio Show.
Maxwell Silverhammer, G.J. Jerkman, Cruise Control, and G Motor. Do you smell fire? I think somebody lit a cigarette. No, it's the hottest radio show on the internet. So keep it locked here from 7 to 9, cause the STIM Radio fam, they ahead of their time. And now it's lesson 1, man, this is lesson 2. No format because they keep it fresh and new. And this is what I call HQ. Hey, Winfrey, you're a musical genius, man. They can't paint it like a face is. But if the content is making you sick, take some Dayquil. And if you think that the jocks sound quirky, allow me to introduce you to the shit that irks me.
Welcome to the STIM Radio Show with the bald guy behind the board deserves a Humanitarian Award, Maxwell Silverhammer.
Oh, yes, bitches! Welcome to the shit that fucking cocksucking irks me. I'm Maxwell Silverhammer.
And I'd be the goofy announcer Jerkman.
Hey, that's what we need you for, man.
Yeah,
Goofy announcements.
Goofy announcements.
And on the phone, we got Chopah. Chopah, what's going on, man?
What's going on with you, my brother?
Not much. Sorry it took a little bit, but hey, we got you in there, I guess. So
Yeah, actually, we could do some Skyping if y'all answer it.
well, actually, we've now disconnected the video assembly, so
Oh, okay.
we're good, man. We got you in. This is the main thing. We're afraid to mess with anything because it's been so weird. So, man, well, go and I wanted to just say, man, real quick. I've had Cedric on the show before. Cedric Singleton of Black Market Records. He's an all right dude in my book. But, I just wanted to say this is, I want to give you guys all your platform to tell your story. Nobody's taking sides, nothing like that, man. So just so we're clear. But so tell us, man, how did you even get hooked up with Cedric and Black Market and everybody?
Well, Cedric Singleton, he was a friend. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Well, Black Market Records, Cedric Singleton was a person that, I was in the arts doing my thing and rapping on my solo thing as far as being out in the industry and just going around city to city, state to state and doing talent shows. And so I ended up running into a guy at one of my talent shows. He was a dancer. So he was like, yeah, man, you tight. I like you. I like your style. But I know this guy named Cedric Singleton. And, you should go ahead and get up with him. So I said, cool, hook it up. So he hooked it up. And I was about 13, 14 around the time. So as we hooked up with him, he put me up under his wing, and had this house with the studio in it, and had a group that he was working with called 916 Alliance. So I got in part of that, got on stage, did my thing, witnessed to be on stage with 5,000 people and plus. And it kind of brought me back in. So as me dealing with Ced and, gaining a relationship with him, I just stayed consistent with it, because that's what I wanted to do. I was hungry for it and still am. So he seen that. So, I wasn't as tight as a rapper as I am now. So at the end of the time, I'm talking to him. And I'm like, busting my raps to him. And he's like, all right, Gus, let me hear that one. And I'm rapping to him. He goes, I said, what you think? He goes, that's garbage. And I'm like, damn, okay, all right, cool. So he didn't just lie to me and tell me it was good, so I would never get better. So I kept going and kept writing. Anyway, eventually we got so cool with each other. We went around the United States doing our thing, and I ended up hooking up with hooking back up with him on the business tip, and he ended up putting me on a song. My boy Will put me on a song with X-Rated. X-Rated is an artist that did some time, was still doing time for a murder. Don't want to really get too deep into that right now. But I got on that album as time went by. So that opened up my eyes and opened up my name to the industry. So that's what got me, into that. And then with me and Cedric, I started getting more deep into it. We formed a group called Triple Beam. And as I formed a group with my boy Shotgun and Poop, that's my neighborhood partners from my hood and, from 48th Street and everything in Oak Park. So we started doing our thing with that. We started making songs at the studio in our house and just making them at us for the love of it, not really just trying to make it big, just for the love of it. And I still had my relationship with Cedric at the time. So, I was telling, my boys, let's go ahead and knock some things out. We went through like 5 different artists, man, different companies trying to put us out. And then things never just worked out for us. So we're a good group. We created a buzz around the town for us. And this was on our own without a black market. And then I ended up going and doing a talent show, which was with the whole Triple Beam. And we won. But Cedric, I guess Cedric didn't want to pay the 3 dudes the money. I ain't gonna put him out there like that and say he didn't want to pay, but I kind of figured that because our group won and it wasn't even that tight. They didn't get no love, so I was like, okay, small things to a giant. We went on about our business, but we still ended up winning anyway because we ended up getting a deal with Cedric. So we went and got a deal as Triple Beam. We put out our first album, 28 Grams Out the Bag, and that album sold through the roof. Many major promotions, but it had less promotions because it was one of those albums that it was an iconic album. It was a historical album. You could put it out and today you could still listen to it. And so that made us where we were going around city to city, tour, state to state, and doing the biggest black market. And then we ended up getting deeper into it, gaining our fan base. And then the second album, Conspiracy, that's when things started going downhill and shit started going bad. So, as that, I'm a writer also, so I started writing movies and I started seeing, what was going on with black market. It would be to the point where we did a video for Lynch, Brother Lynch Hung. And I'm peeping all this stuff out, though. I'm not really holding him to it because this is other people's business. So I would go and I would look at what he was going on. So Bright Party Records ended up shooting a video called One More Pound of Smoke for Brother Lynch Hung when he ended up getting the deal for them. And then once he got the deal, they gave him a grip of money to do it, right? Close to like 70 grand, 75,000. And then when he ended up doing that movie or that video, they said shoot it on 35 millimeter. He went and bought Alcatraz for like a 10,000. We slept on Alcatraz, spent the night, shot the whole movie or video on that. And then after we find out we're not dropping our album for a reason, we're like, wow, we ain't coming through priority, man. This is some bullshit. We was supposed to been drop. So Fed puts us up in the cars, brings me, everybody out there to Black Market Records, to Party Records. We drive to L.A. So we all go up in there, and then we find out why we don't get the deal because Fed went and spent all the money, or spent none of the money. He went and got a 16 millimeter video shot when they were asking for 35. So they were like, man, fuck this, man. We good. We don't want to do business with you no more. We good. I didn't know the whole scenario, so I can't speak on that. But I know we lost that deal with Priority Records, and then Master P moved in and then took over because he got a business inside their office. So he killed it, put out all of the albums. And then, to believe it or not, if y'all didn't know, Black Market Records used to have Master P on it. Master P was on Black Market Records. If
Really?
You didn't know that.
No, actually, I
didn't. He
didn't.
was he was up under Black Market Records as the group TRU. So I used to do all the accounting, not accounting, but keeping all the track of all the CDs that were inside the market. So I used to count TRU album, and I'm like, damn, this is like 1,400 albums still. Okay, boom. So I go back, count them again. It's another 1,400 albums. It wasn't selling. Nothing was going on. So from there, Black Market Records had an issue with Master P, and then Master P went up there and got all his music back and then dropped that shit later on and went on and did what he had to do and blew up. That same album that we were selling went gold.
Man.
You know what I mean? So, it just shows that.
Now,
so
wait a minute. Now,
let
me just stop you real quick. When he was, what TRU album was he signed to Black Market Records? Was that the first one?
Yeah, it was the first one. It was the first one.
The one he did with, he had EA Ski on a few tracks and a few other guys. I don't think he had Mia X yet and all those people.
No. He X-Rated was one of his first artists. It was X-Rated. And that was with the Exorcist album. I was on that one. That was my first song. I was on the album, that song With a Mask On.
Oh.
And that was I was on that. I was the one who was like, yes, motherfuckers. Yes, you have X-Rated with, you know what I mean? I had that one. So I was younger, way younger at that time, of course. But that was what got me out there first. And so I respect him for that. You know, he put me out there, and I'm like, I don't have nothing bad to say about Cedric. I just really want to open up the eyes to this man real quick to let him know if you're gonna run a record label, you got to run a label that takes care of people's families. You can't just have a record label where you're out for your own good and just to take people down up under. You know, that's not a godly type thing. That's basically the work of the devil, really, to me, because behind that person that's trying to get out there and make a living is another person's family and kids expecting for that man to make it so they can have longevity and live good. Not just, all right, honey, go out there and I'm about to go to the studio, I'm about to leave the kids, I'm about to go make a song, and you come back with no money. What you gonna tell your kids? What you gonna tell your wife or your kid's mother? So, you know, I just say, this is before I get back into the story, this is why I'm expressing myself, not to be bitter or not to put Ced on Front Street like he's some kind of chump, because I still respect him. I just don't respect how he makes his moves.
Right. So what happened, man? What tell about how it started going south? You said at Conspiracy, that's when shit started going down.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now, Conspiracy. Back to what I was talking about. Conspiracy. It started going down south because when we started doing our music and starting on our second album, he didn't really want to spend money on the hottest beats. So we had a producer went in, he was on fire. I mean, fire like a crack house, man. And he had the tightest beats. So I'm listening to the beats. I'm like, yeah, Ced, these are the ones right here. Triple Beam was like, yeah, these are the ones. But he didn't want to spend money on them. He just was like, nah, man, that's too high. I'm like, these are only $500 beats, bro. You know, he's giving you a package deal for $1,500 for 3 beats. I mean, 4 beats for $1,500, man. Let's do this. Oh man, nah. Let's focus out. Let's do something else. So we end up settling for whatever we can make, and we start getting the beats and doing whatever we're gonna do. Some beats were hot, but we didn't use the ones that weren't. We used the decent beats. The album still turned out good. So then we ended up getting a deal with Tommy Boy, which was for Brother Lynch Hung, because we lost that deal with Priority Records due to the fact that Ced didn't do what he was supposed to do as far as their business. Can't get into that because I don't really know everything. So I just know we lost that deal with Priority. And then we ended up getting a deal with Tommy Boy. And once the deal was out there with Tommy Boy, we were going to drop Conspiracy through Tommy Boy. That never happened because EBK4 was supposed to have been released. The one he's shooting through, Brother Lynch Hung was shooting through the pillow on that album. We were on that album. We got on 2 songs, but it's all fucked up because, see, Lynch is my boy. And, you know, I got a lot of love for Lynch. I've been knowing Lynch since I was a little kid, since I started hanging out with Black Market Records. So for him to go and he put us on the album, yeah, that was helping. But I like to do stuff for real, like some genuine shit. Right. So due to the fact he went and he grabbed all the artists and put them on Lynch's album when Lynch really didn't really fuck with nobody from Black Market that much. He didn't really hang out with people. He rarely hung out with me, but, you know, because he thought, oh, man, you said nephew. So, you know, and I'm really not Ced's nephew. Just he was saying, you know, that's what Ced used to call me back in the day. So he was calling me Ced's nephew, so he didn't really want to fuck with me because that's kind of like is he coming to infiltrate? Is he coming to find out what I'm doing? Or is he coming to steal an album off my desk and bring it back to Ced? You know, so Lynch had a logical reason why he didn't fuck with me too much, but he still showed love. Well, anyway, from that Conspiracy album did well, but it didn't do as well because he didn't put it out and do what he's supposed to do. That was around the time Black Market started going down a little bit, and, you know, he started going through all these different lawsuits with Lynch. So I wrote a movie with a friend of mine named Keith Lee. I wrote the movie, ended up losing the script for a minute, do the moving around and making moves. So I went, but I still had the movie in my head. And then that's when I ended up, and this is a little bit time, now my time is going, I'm going through the timelines now, so I'm telling you. So we're now in the movie, writing the movie Greedy with Keith Lee. So we finally get it done. We start shooting. As we start shooting, Cedric compensated me, and I got paid handsomely on that label. I did an interview where I said I didn't get paid a dime, right? I'm talking about today. I'm talking about these days. That when you see me rolling around in nice whips, that's not on Black Market at all. That's on Lawrence. That's on The Real Chopah. This is on me. You see what I'm saying? So when people see me in traffic, it's not on Black Market Records. It's on me. It's on Got Racks Custom. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So the Greedy movie was getting shot, and everything started going kind of downhill from there because as the movie was being shot, it was unorganized. People didn't really know what was going on, and I did get compensated for the movie, but it wasn't what I expected, what I was supposed to get. This is not longevity money. So I made him pay me for every day that I went to the movie. So every time we got shot in the movie. So while I was doing that, a lot of the people that were on the label were getting kind of irritated because Said wasn't back and doing what he was supposed to be doing for that movie. So it took damn near 2 years for this movie to get shot, if not longer than that. And so, but a lot of movies do take a long time to get shot. It's a movie, it's not an album. Production is crazy. So anyway, we go do our movie, and then from there, the movie is done. So I don't hear anything said or nothing. The labels goes down the hill. Brother Lynch sued Lynch. Brother Lynch sued Said. So Said had, I guess, I don't know the full business about Said and Lynch, but I know Said had to give Lynch some money. So Lynch got his money. He went on about his business, got signed to Strange Music, and congratulations to him on that. And then from there, everybody was just on Black Market just sitting there. And then I just found out that Said was going downhill with it, and he was just letting everything go. So me personally, I said, all right, well, let me just start my new albums and let me do all this stuff and, get in there and start working it on my own. Well, he dropped a lot of people from the label, dropped the company, closed it down, and because his lawsuit was so tough, he had to just shut down and close all records. So he did that. And then now he decides to come back and with his attitude as if he was doing it the same way. And when I seen Said recently, I'm like, okay, because I wasn't talking to Said at all for a long time. I still kept it cordial, but because I still respect him as a person that not just the music business, as far as him bringing me up under this business as being a youngster. I don't never look at anybody who fed me in a way where I can eat for life.
Right.
So right now, Cedric did an extreme good favor for me. I'm just checking his ass right now on how he is, because if you don't check a child or check someone for having bad actions, they're going to continue to have bad actions because they think it's good. So at the end of the day, I had to check him right now, and I'm telling these brothers, telling him, you have to be, in order to be successful, because he's a successful man already. So, but in order to be successful out in these days, you have to let people eat, because that's how you become dominant. That's how you become a powerful person. Nobody's going to if somebody fed you, my man, and you ate off someone, and they're taking care of you and your family, would you let anything happen to them?
Oh, hell no. Absolutely not.
Correct. So right now, what I'm saying is he can be more powerful and stop getting these youngsters up under him that have dreams and goals and then shooting them down. Because that's like you winning the lottery, and then you bring the ticket to the place, and they say, "Nah, I'm just fucking with you." That's not a winner.
So,
you dig what I'm saying?
Right. So you had some. What was the situation with? There was another movie situation you were talking about. I know. Right. That you were on YouTube talking about. What's the story with that?
Okay, that right there. This is a current situation. Know that I told you all the history we had within each other, and this is why I'm taking this so serious and so irritated about it, because Said wasn't dealing with me for years. So as now he looks on Facebook, he hears my word and my name in the street still without Black Market, so he's like getting kind of curious. How does this dude staying afloat like this? I don't get it. So somebody mysteriously invited me to one of his shoots, which was California Living, written by Keith Lee. So I get there, and when I talked to Tarsi, said, I'm happy to see everybody, because, all my family members, I'm looking at them like, damn, this is history. This is, people I grew up around. Even though we had bad terms and stuff, me and Cedric had bad terms. Well, everybody else was like family, including Cedric. I was happy to see him, too, that day. Right. So, anyway, make the long story short, I see him, and I play my role that I came there to act out for. They love it. Okay, yeah, you good, you got it. So I go, and I'm still talking to people. Cedric pulled me aside and says, man, I seen you doing your movie. Who's shooting it? Not shooting, who's shooting? He already knew who's shooting it. He said, how you getting it done like that? And I just told him, well, I got my boy Brian Martin, as you know, he's doing this, and he's shooting my movie, and he's doing a real good job. I said, what are you shooting your movie with? He said, well, and he opened his black case up, and he says, well, I'm shooting with these two cameras right here. I just bought these cameras, and that's what I'm shooting with. So I was like, okay, that's cool. Who's actually going to shoot it? So he says one of the homies from my hood. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. So then he goes and says, well, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to still use him, too, because I got some other people out in L.A. that might come shoot it. So he, right then and there, his mind is just in the air. He don't know exactly what he's going to do. So he's lost, but he's still trying to do casting calls and make it happen. I feel him. You know, he's driven. But he goes and he tells me this, and then I say, you know what? As me being an open-hearted dude, and I felt Cedric's struggle and his hustle, I always know him for doing well. So I said, you know what? Let me help my bro out, and let me try to make him, make something crack for him. Because he's going to make it crack. And I want to be a part of that because I got the avenues now. So anyway, I go and I talk to him, and I'm like, hey, man, I called him this next few days later. I'm like, hey, so what you want to do? You want to holler at Brian and see if you want to get your movie shot? Or not my movie shot or his movie, but my movie. So because he said he wanted to put some, invest. He wanted to put some money into it. So I was like, all right, cool. The OPM system is lovely out here. So I tell him, you know about the OPM system. Y'all businessman, other people's money. So I go and I talk to him about that. I talked to him about that, and he asked me, how much money do we need to get this movie shot? I said, well, the movie is already shot. We got a lot of money into this already, so we've got like 15, 20 more scenes to do, and we'll wrap. So he's like, all right, cool, no problem. Why don't you just hook that up? And he calls me a few times asking me, so what's up? And I'm kind of curious, why is he that anxious to invest in my movie? But I'm like, damn, well, let me hurry up and stop kicking my feet up and get on this while Ced is ready to spend some money, because that don't really sound like him. So I get fed up, and we end up driving to the meeting, and then Brian is like, man, if it's Cedric Singleton and then you brought him to, and you're good, I know you deal with good people, why don't you just go on and bring him to the house then? You ain't got to meet up at Starbucks. Just come to my house. So I take him over to the house. We go and do that shit, and we get there. We get in there. We show him damn near my whole movie, man. He's so excited. Oh, man, that's great. Oh, that's great footage, man. I love that footage. Oh, man. So you shot all that. We showing him the aerial scenes. We showing him all the actresses, the actors. We showing him the scary parts of the monster. So he's really into it. And now he's making it seem like he's ready to drop the dough. So now me and Brian, we got 4 eyes on him now. Me, Brian, and just looking at him, waiting to see what his response is. So we go, just give me a little time. I'm gonna think about it. It's good though. I'm in. So we're like, cool. All right, cool. So then we sit back. We postpone our dates of shooting, and we add a few more stars to the movie. And so we told Ced, just go ahead and pay the stars. That's all you got to do is pay the stars to get in the movie. So he's like, all right, cool. So then 1 week goes by, another week goes by, then another week goes by. And then I'm asking Brian, I'm like, Brian, man, what's going on, man? What's going on with this shit, man? You listen to shoot, man, because I don't think Ced's ready to do it. He goes, man, I don't know, man, because he's been calling, but it really seems like he wants to get his movie shot. Because he said nothing about Soul Lake. And then Brian is not saying anything negative about him at all. So don't get that in mixed up with what I'm saying. He just didn't know what Ced was doing. Brian is an OG, so he knows bullshit when he sees it. So when he hears it.
He starts questioning a little bit then.
Yeah, he starts correct. So he starts questioning a little bit, like, I don't know, Chop. He sounds like he's just trying to get his movie to shot. So I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to sit around and even worry about it. I'm going to just go and focus on it. And I know I got to spend my own money again, like I've been doing, to get this movie shot. So he says, all right, no problem. So I put in my head that it's not going down. But now I asked him, did you hear from him? He says, no, I ain't heard from him at all. A couple weeks later, I look on Facebook, and he went, and my movie got pushed back for some reason. And I say, oh, I found out why. Because he went behind my back after he said he just wanted to hook up and shoot my movie. He went and paid, Brian Martin, to go ahead and shoot his movie. No, you can't be mad at that. But it was just how he did it, how he went. And then he go tell me on the phone when I confront him about it. I said, man, listen, man, that was foul how you did that, family. We don't do shit like that. But to me, if you'd have did that in the hood, if this was some hood shit and it wasn't movies, nothing added, you would have got your ass smashed by somebody. Well, like really hurt bad, if not killed, because you go and you're in the street. That's how the street game takes it. If you're in the streets, right, somebody's grinding.
You know what's interesting though? I got to stop you real quick, man, because what's interesting is your boy took the money from him and then didn't tell you anything, which is kind of shady too.
Well, you got to look at it too, all right? Now that's why I was getting to this point. If you're in the streets and you got somebody that's sitting here in the streets, they're hustling, and then I bring a person around to this guy, and I bring him, and I say, man, he wants to get the hookup on it. And he says, all right, cool. And then the other guy acts like he don't want it no more. Then he leaves, and he goes behind my back and messes with my plug. That's kind of like, dude, you out of pocket, because now you're trying to take my plug, and now you're messing up my business and my flow of traffic.
Right.
So that's how I looked at him and got mad at him, because you can't get mad at the person who's selling it, because he has to live. He has to flip his product.
Right.
And so I couldn't get mad at him, because that's not, his company is back to one. It's not Gotrax ENT. And I understand what you're saying, that he's a grown-ass man, and, and he's my homeboy. He's supposed to be doing business with me, so he should contact me. Well, he did contact me, and he said, said is, he's dropping some dough to get it done, and he heard how I was irritated. But by me being an understanding entrepreneur and a businessman, I couldn't get mad at that, because that's out of my jurisdiction. That's out of my level of understanding. I couldn't get mad at that.
So he did let you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he let me know, but he's basically let me know, like, man, I just get prepared, because I don't think he's trying to invest in your money, in your movie. And so I just told him, man, I don't give a shit. I give a shit like 2 outhouses. I don't. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's good with me, man. I'm on like shit anyway. God got my back. My people got my back. And for some reason, things flow smooth for me, because people out there see that I'm a genuine person. I don't need to go nowhere in this world on the thought that I have to, sneak around or get over on someone. I just go through life, because I feel he provided things for me anyway. He wrote my script flawless. I have certain flaws, but they always iron themselves out. So this thing was said is just water up under the bridge. I'm just in my point in my life that I'm not going to let him do anything to me. They say you stand for something or you fall for anything.
Right.
And I'm not going to be that person that falls for anything, because you got to live and you live to die. So while I'm here, I'm not going to let my time pass me by. I said that concept in one of my raps, and that's just real deal. I'm not doing that with anyone. I'm grown. I have no time to play. I got bills. My living expenses is higher than the average person's, so... And this is not on Black Market. So I'm doing my hats, my custom line. I'm doing my music. I'm doing my movies, writing movies, doing my own videos, editing. I just edited a new video that I got out right now called CEO. And people look at that video and say, man, I swore, and if you'd have told me you didn't edit that, I would have swapped down when somebody on a major label did that. So, yeah, I just keep it 100 with myself, man, and with others that, deserve the 100ness. But when you're out of line, I'm going to put you in straightness. And that's just the real deal. Ced needs to be checked. He needs to understand that life is not all about Cedric Singleton. Life is about others. Life is about us. Life is about all. And you can't just be about yourself in these days now.
So see, you have no connection to him anymore, really. You haven't heard anything.
Nah, I recently was connected with him. I recently had conversations with him. I recently, met up with him, and we recently had this business meeting. That's why I recently just left to start going hard on him, because I said, damn, this is it, bro. You got me in my group. He tried to get me in my group, Triple Beam the Funk, and, do that divide and conquer thing, and, sign me to a solo deal, and they had me in my group kind of funking out and not doing music again. But that's not stopping us, because I'm doing the White Party May 15th out here in Sacramento, Roseville, California, and Triple Beam will be there, and we're going to be doing our show. So
nice.
It's not stopping us, man. We're still pushing like iron, man. We're still on.
Cool. Well, that's good. Good to hear. So you kind of dusted yourself off, man, and continued. It's
correct.
And there's no, he doesn't. Well, I guess he still owes you money, but
he paid though.
So, but you're not connected. You don't owe him anything. Like no albums.
Nah.
Oh wow.
Nah. I don't owe him no albums, man. I came at him at times real quick when he was like trying to get me to do distribution. And I was like, well, I can go do distribution on my own. I asked him, is he still dealing with certain, distribution companies? He was like, nah, he got his own distribution company. I called him for a distribution plug before, but anything that he owns on his own, I don't mess with it. Black Market Films, that's his own thing, so he controls that. He controls your money. You don't want him to control your money, because, that's you already know how he is. So if you have somebody that can control your money that you don't trust, that's just putting your own self in the grave. That's your fault.
Right.
So, I don't deal with him like that. And to this day, I don't want nothing bad to happen to him, because I still got love for him as what he's done for me in the past, and that's just real stuff coming from me. I'm not a bitter person like a person that it was on his label recently, or not on his label, one of his boys left a message and said, "Oh, you sound like a bitter rapper." Like, no, dude, how am I bitter when, I got everybody on my shit right now? How am I bitter when I got a beautiful home? How am I bitter when I got several different things to utilize to make my company right? I'm financially good. How am I bitter? I'm doing better than a lot of rappers who are out there on TV right now. So how am I feeling bitter? And it's not a braggadocious statement. I'm just real shit.
Right.
So it's nothing being bitter. It's just, you're bitter because you got to check the motherfucker from doing hella stuff to people that I'm the only person out of everybody that he deals with that's standing up to him or says something about him. Like, what is so scary about this nigga? Why can't I'm gonna call him a nigga? But this brother, how can I personally feel scared of him like that?
Right.
I just don't. That's like me talking to my mom or talking to my dad or talking to my cousin. And some people say, man, you're wrong for going out there on air to do that. But when you call somebody and you check somebody personally, that's all they take it as. But when you let you air out all their little funky underarm status, then they start trying to put deodorant on and cover their funk up. So they're going to get themselves together. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what this show's all about, man, is, and that's always been my philosophy that, something pisses you off, man, you got to let it be known,
Right.
So there's nothing wrong with that at all. I respect that, if anything. Instead of being scared to say what's on your mind. And to Cedric's credit, man, the first time I had a guy named Pharaoh Da Vinci on, and I guess Cedric, was kind of like, whoa, wait a minute, this guy's going bad on me, man. I kind of have to, like you said, put the deodorant on the funk. So I figured at least he was man enough to come on and explain his side of it too. So that's cool, man. When people won't, that's when you got to wonder, like, oh, what are you hiding from? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. So, but anytime a person comes on, you have to, how can I say, you have to defend yourself. And I believe, Pharaoh, and I don't know him, but, for him to get out here and recognize that, he's a pretty smart dude. Because he recognized that. A lot of people feel like, perfect analogy. Say you're living at your girlfriend's house. She pays all the bills. But she keeps slapping you inside the head, calling you all kind of names, and you're playing PS2. She pulls the cord out the wall so you can't play. You want to get up and lead this broad, but you ain't got no money to make a move. You know that you can't do this, so you got to deal with this bullshit.
Yeah.
And because that's all you got. So that's what these rappers do. So what they do is say, oh, shit, I know I'm getting done by Ced. I know he's getting over, and I know I'm not going to make any money. So what I'm going to do is just deal with it anyway and try to see what I can do to make happen.
Man. Well, it's funny. One thing I've noticed between you and Pharaoh, I guess you guys don't know each other, but Black Market, they seem to sign very, I want to say charismatic, intelligent dudes. Because you and Pharaoh seem to have those same two traits, man.
Right. But that's, if you recognize, intelligent people don't do good as dummies. So, and then if you look at on Black Market, no offense, no disrespect to anybody on Black Market that's signed now. But if you don't have a problem with it, obviously you're not intelligent because you're not visual to what he's doing. You're not visual to his schemes, what he's doing. And once again, I say that Ced will go a long way, far. I mean, real far, if he learns how to give his infrastructure something right. To say, okay, I'm gonna take a budget out, and because you can't look good. How are you gonna look good if your artists don't look good? How can you live and how can you build? Okay, I said this on one of my interviews too. How can you not feed your artists? And I said it a little bit different, but how can you not feed your workers and expect them to build a house? They're gonna faint from exhaustion.
Right.
They can't do that. So at the end of the day, I'm saying pay your artists and watch how big you blow. And none of this is a blow at Ced. It's just saying, fool, get your shit together.
Well, I guess that's it, man. I mean, it seems like he signed some pretty smart guys. I could see if he signed a bunch of dumb fucks that don't know what they're doing, that would be the smarter thing. But it sounds like everybody kind of catches on and goes, oh, let's get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, You know.
But I don't get it. I don't get it. He has connections in Africa. He's always out there. I know he's out there helping the African people and giving money around. So he's doing positive things, man. This interview ain't just throwing. He's doing a lot of positive stuff. He just gets back home and, you know, it's weird. You go back to Africa, treat people good, but then you come to Sacramento and fuck people over. That's weird as shit. So I don't get that, man. You got to take care of home first, man. And that's real. Take care of home. That's even in your home with your girl, your wife, your kids. Take care of home, man.
Right.
And then you'll be good.
Yeah.
That's it. If you want to sign, if you want kids, take care of your kids. They're one of them. Now, basically, when you sign people, that's why I haven't signed any artists yet, because I don't want to get labeled like that.
Right.
I'm warning. My act on God Rap ENT is Chopah, you know, and that's it right now. I'm focusing on me because I have a lot of stuff to provide, and so I don't have time to, you know, lead somebody's careers down the drain from somewhere else or make him think that I'm gonna put him on while I'm really focusing on myself.
Right.
You know, and that's unfair to anyone. Because I look deeper into signing artists. People like to sign artists just to have them in the freezer on display. And then they say, all right, well, I'm ready to deal with him, then I'll get back to him. But you can't put nobody in the freezer because their wife ain't expecting them to be on the freezer. Their kids ain't expecting them to be on the freezer. And their lifestyle, their landlord is not expecting them to be in the freezer. Them bills don't freeze.
Yeah. You got a point there.
Bills don't freeze. Yeah, those bills don't freeze, man. And that's just real, man. And I look at everything now that I'm older and I visualize the whole way that life is supposed to be. You know, I look at it, man, and it's discouraging to me because he's so smart, but he does stuff that's not intelligent. Like, I'll get back to this one, the Greedy movie. He gets the movie shot, is ready to go. He believed in my dream and believed in it. I mean, damn, you know, nobody really did that but him. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm sitting back and let Sid do his thing. He goes and he lets this movie linger on for years. He promoted it in the stores. He spent money on promoting this album, this movie. And then he did the soundtrack. But what he fucked up on was on the back of the cover, he had a white man sitting on his knees in in the scene with the guy the other rapper standing over the back of the guy with a gun in the back of his head, executional style,
right.
Like he was about to shoot a white man in the back of the head. Right there, you know, people look at that and say, man, is that racist or what's that about? You know, they don't know the movie.
Right,
they don't
right.
know anything about the movie. They just look at it. That would be different. It's just kind of same thing as a black guy on his knees and then a white guy standing behind him with a gun behind him. People going, what the fuck is going on? You know, they're going to trip. It's going to be very controversial.
That was his concept then. You had nothing, and you're thinking, wow, you're making me look racist by doing this shit.
Right, exactly. So he did that. I'm like, that's unsmart. You're supposed to do everything that applies to the masses. You can't go and put a gun on a white man's head and think the white people are, you know, they're gonna come get that, because this movie don't have just any color. They got everybody in this movie.
Right.
You have white people, Mexican people, black people, everybody in this movie. So we got to make it that way. Then you wait 5-6 years to drop. Look, he drops the soundtrack first. And then 5 years later, he goes and he drops the movie. What kind of sense does that make?
Wow.
Like, for real.
so
and then go ahead.
The movie's out then, right? It is available.
Right. The movie is out. You can go get it on Amazon. Just different places. I don't really tune into it because it is what it is. It was kind of water up under my bridge.
Right.
But I say the movie is a pretty good movie. It could have been a little bit extra added to it in my eyes, but you know, that was back then, and we were shooting movies when you couldn't really do that. You couldn't really go and shoot a movie. That was huge. Now you can shoot a movie with your iPhone and shit. You
right.
know, so yeah, for real. So it's a little bit different now, but I just look at it as he dropped that movie so late. It just didn't do what it was supposed to because people thought they already saw it, or they thought it was been out for so long that it wasn't a good movie, so they didn't go. I don't know what they did. I don't know if they're purchasing it because they keep telling me that it's not selling at all.
Oh, wow.
Or not at all, but it's not selling. That's what he tells me. But I go from L.A. to Washington to New York, different places, and people are like, man, I seen you. Man, I seen you from somewhere, dog. And I'm like, man, I don't know, man. Maybe you see me shoot on the music something, and then I leave, and then they come right back. Hey, I know where I seen you from. The Greedy movie. Man, I got that movie at my house. Me and my wife were just watching that. But how the hell you do that when we didn't sell any movies? I don't get that.
So obviously it's selling.
It's selling. So obviously something is going on. I asked him for a movie. If it ain't selling, he's telling me he ain't got no movies to give me, so I can sell them. So I say, well, fuck it, man. If the movie ain't selling, it's just sitting there. That's dead product. So I'm gonna go manufacture a movie and show you how to sell a movie. Since we're gonna do that, and I am gonna mass produce that movie. I told him already. He got mad at me and man, you better not do that shit. No, well, what you gonna do? Fight? What you want to do?
So you do plan to re-release it then under you, right?
Yeah, and I got an album now re-releasing called Troublemaker, and that was a good album. That I had 40 on it, Be Legit, Numbskull from the Loonies, Just Mouth, my boy LeBitty, he's a singer back in the day with the Click. It's a lot. I had a lot of good people on there, man, and I never. Oh, my group Triple Beam was on there too. I never really got that full effect of putting that out. And then when I had that album, this is where it goes wrong. This is where my mama don't feel fed either on this one, because I did my album and I took a cover. I don't portray a gang member. I'm from the hood, but I don't just try to live my life as a gang. That's what everybody does as a rapper. They are, okay, I'm gonna put out a new album. So I don't know, should I be a Crip? No. I live in a blood neighborhood, so I'm gonna be a blood. They're gonna call me Little Blood, and then they're gonna call me Crazy Blood. Yeah, and I'm gonna come out with an album. It don't work like that. Me, I'm a real dude. So I said, how can I put an album out that actually shows me as who I really am? So I came out with the album called Eyes on the Prize, Eyes on My Enemy. That's how I live. I got my eyes on the prize, and everybody that I hang around, I got love for, but I don't know if they got love for me. They might be my enemy, so I focus on them. That's what my album was about. So he goes back one day, and he takes a picture with me with my rag on my head, because at the time, I still wear rags. I wear my rag. Sometimes it might be a red one, it might be a black one, but I always wear a rag with my hat, so my hats don't get dirty or get oil on them. But I'm just like that. Anyway, I go and I had that rag on, so Fed was like, hey, let me take some pictures of you. So I took some pictures of it, and I was just taking little, random pictures here and there. And I turn around, this fool changes my cover, puts the cover with me with the red rag on my head, and and he changed my name to my album and called it Troublemaker.
Oh.
So now, my mama called me up when she seen that in the store. She said, I was just in the store, and I was buying a Frankie Beverly album, and I look, and I see down there my son with a red rag on his head. Okay,
oh, wow.
What is that about, son? I said, well, I don't know. What's the album called? It said Troublemaker. I said, oh, yeah, that's the album that said it was, I knew about it already. I was just trying to, I was just embarrassed to show my mom that I was, just looking like her son is just nothing but a gang member, or whatever.
Right.
Because I don't pursue. Everybody in the hood know what I get down, how I get down. I'm cool with Crips, Bloods, everybody, but they know I'm from Oak Park. That's my neighborhood. That's where I'm from. But I'm not just sitting here gang banging and ain't nothing else to do.
Well,
People know about me, so.
And even the consumer could get the wrong idea. You know what I'm saying? You might go to Kansas and perform in something, and they'll be, oh, there's that slob motherfucker, and then,
right.
So it's a lot of trouble, man.
So my mother came at me on this one. She was like, you know what, son? I used to like Sid because he did a lot for you. He helped me out with you too. But you know what? I'm not cool. I don't feel him anymore. He was trying to get you killed. I said, what you meant by that? She said, well, by somebody knowing your album cover was the way it was before, then you go back and put a red rag, or he didn't put a red rag on my head, but to put an album cover out under your without your consent, to call it Troublemaker and put a red rag on your head, it makes it look like you telling Crips and all that. What, blood? Fuck Crips. This is blood. I'm a troublemaker. You know what I'm saying? And so when I'm out here trying to do that, I might try to promote, and somebody say, yo, cuz, you the slot nigga, you know what I'm saying? And pow, shooting.
Yeah.
And now everybody is buying my album for sympathy because they had love for me. Damn, I can't believe Chop gone, man. I'm going to go get his new album. Now Fed is kicking back with his feet up, collecting sympathy money.
Right.
I never really looked at that, but, people on the outside looking in, they can see it clear than the average person living that life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But once you're in it, you're like going, oh, fuck. Now people start thinking things that aren't true.
Right. Correct.
So that's, wow. So it kind of would put your life on the line too, man. obviously.
Yeah, it does. And I'm also re-releasing that album too, because he said he's not doing anything with it. You know, it's same back to my analogies again. If you got steak on the table and don't nobody want it, and it's hot and it's still ready, you give me that plate and I eat.
Man, so
that's how I'm gonna do it.
What are you gonna
do? Since he wants to sit around and let a full meal and sit in front of his face, before the flies get to it, I'm gonna eat. For real.
So are you gonna change the cover? What's the new cover gonna be?
Oh yeah, the cover is actually I already changed the cover. You know, the cover's already done. All I got to do is just take the music and go and mass produce it, and then it's ready to be out. And I'll do that probably pretty soon. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but right now, the way we are, I'm already just going forward with it because there's nothing he's going to do that, you know, all he's going to do is argue with me or tell me, nah, man, don't do that or give me a percentage of it. And it is what it is, man. You know, I fuck around and change the lyrics. I mean, keep my lyrics because he don't own my lyrics. What you want to do? Keep the beats you made? But in reality, what you going to do? Because if he does try to sue me, all you got to do, that's basically taking him to court. He's taking himself to court. You know, sue me. Go ahead. I want you to sue me because now you got to open up your records. You got to open up your books and show me your ass now. Wow. You know what I mean? So let's do that. Let's go ahead and take me to court because I'm ready. I'm a barber, too. I cut an entertainment lawyer, and I'm so cool with him, he'll work for free.
Oh, wow.
So you want to go all day? Yeah, that's my homeboy. He'll come to my house every day and come hang out with me, and then I cut him up, and then he leaves. You know what I mean? He told me, and anytime I need you need me, I got your back like your T-shirt, homie. So it's good.
Wow.
You know, and we're on. So, Cedric, if you want to go ahead and try to sue me or whatever, for that, go ahead because you're suing yourself. There's nothing.
Man, you know, I just want to digress real quick, man. You say you're from Oak Park. Do you remember a rapper named Homicide?
That's my bro. That's my big bro. Love him to death. Homicide, that's my bro. Actually, he's a big part of my life too. And I want people to know about Homicide. Homicide is a factor out here in Sacramento. He was the first person who ever had a billboard bigger than Kyle Worthington on the strip in Oak Park. And that's a real. He was another person that said was dealing with, and I brought him. Not brought him, but he was an inspirational type of situation to me because I was looking at Homicide like, man, you know, he's doing this, man. He got this going on, and you know, I looked up to him too, still do. You know, as far as him doing what he's doing, and he's a hood cat, but he got a brain of a Russell Simmons. He's very intelligent, sharper than O.J. Simpson knife, shall I say.
So what's he doing now, man? Because the last thing I heard from him was Plantation.
Yeah, he's doing a lot. I can't really get too deep into his business because I haven't seen him in a while, but I do know he does, you know, a lot of, royalties and, you know, publishing. He runs a publishing company of his own, and he does a lot. And he's always behind the scenes writing. You know, he used to write for Eazy-E, if you didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
He's the one. Yeah, he brought, actually, I'm going to tell you, this is some things that people didn't know. Now, he brought me into Ruthless Records, me, Cedric Singleton, and himself. And we went to go sit down with Eazy-E and Jerry Heller. I was just there. The meeting wasn't about me. I was just there. So, you know, I was about 17, 18 around that time, and I was just chilling. We ended up going to Ruthless Records out there in Woodland Hills, and we go up in there and we talk, and right when I go walk up in there, this is funny, though, Homicide stops at the door. It's this big-ass wood door with just big bolts on it like a castle door, and he says, stop, Chop, listen. Before we go in here, don't be bothering Eazy-E, and don't be trying to say nothing to Jerry Heller. Just kick back, man. This is some serious shit. I'm like, all right, man, good. I'm cool. No, it's good. So we walk up in there, and I sit down. Oh, and it was my boy Fred that was working with us, too, at the time. So I'm sitting down at the couch. Now, we're in Eazy-E's office. We're sitting on this long leather couch, and Eazy-E's at his desk. And I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to play my role, my part. And Eazy-E, I say, I'm talking to Fred, and this is how I can get in with Eazy-E. I'm sitting down talking, and I say, hey, dang, man, Fred, I was saying, well, hurry up with my album, man, and get this done, because I'm ready to put it out. But no, we weren't even working on the album. I just wanted Eazy-E to know I rap. So he looked up, he said, hey, man, hey, you rap, man? I said, yeah. He said, come here, man, let me sit down. I hopped up real quick, sat at his desk, and we talking. I'm like, yeah, man, what's going on? He said, hey, man, look. And then he started going in, talking about, you know, Brother Lynch. So Eazy-E had a group called Bone Thugs and Harmony. We all know that.
Right.
But he wanted Lynch to be in that group. So what he
Really?
did was he was trying. Yeah, Lynch was supposed to have been in Bone Thugs and Harmony for everybody who didn't know that.
Wow.
So yeah, that's exactly that. Cause and then Fed don't even probably know with this because I never said nothing to Fed, but this is real shit. He probably knows though. He probably does know that. He just didn't say nothing. Well, anyway, I was sitting back and I was talking to Eazy-E, and he's showing me all these pictures of. This is when Dr. Dre and him were going real hard. And he's like, man, I was like, man, y'all need to form NWA again because I love y'all, man. I really never could thought that I'd get an opportunity to say this to y'all. But I respect y'all, and y'all are really an inspirational move to me to really do anything because that's all I'm listening to. Y'all, for real, and I'm really here talking to you? Man, this is crazy. She says, nah, man, I'm good. I ain't never doing no group thing with them niggas. I'm good. So he opens up this drawer, and he pulls out this photo album, and he starts going through all these pictures, and he shows a picture of Dr. Dre with this tight bodysuit on with some lipstick on as a group, and he says, do you think I want to do another group with niggas like that? And I'm like, damn, like, wow, he's going hard. So, and at the time, Eazy didn't look like he had none of that shit, because like a month and a half or 2 months later, Dave Weiner from Priority Records, I used to talk to him a lot and get him insight, and Dave Weiner was like, man, you hear about your boy? I was like, what? Who? He said, Eazy. I said, nah, what happened? He said, man, he died of full-blown AIDS, man. He gone. He's about to die this week. I was like, oh, shit. So I look on the TV, and it's real. The news was on there and shows that Eazy was dying. But when I seen him, he looked very healthy. He didn't have any symptoms, signs. And, he had little Eazy was with him as a little baby at the time. He was holding him. Little Eazy was walking around walking through the building, and we were talking. He looked perfectly healthy, dude. And then from there, we ended up going into this other room, and Eazy gave me all these CDs and stuff. And he had a group. He gave me a CD it was called HWA, and it was called Hoes with Attitude. So I was looking at that. I'm like, okay, cool. So he gave me a package to leave with, and then I gave him my number, and he gave me his. So I was just like, damn, it's good. So the next day, and this is real stuff, no lie, I get to my house, and I'm chilling. It's about 8:30 in the morning, and my phone rings, and I run downstairs to go answer it, and I answer it, and it's Eazy-E on the other line. I'm like, hello? He goes, yeah, man, what's up, man? And I'm like, what's going on? Who's this? He goes, Eazy. I said, Eazy, who? He goes, Eazy-E. I'm like, oh, shit, what's up? He goes, yeah, man, hey, look, check this out, man. And he was working on a compilation. He was like, yeah, man, check it out, man. What's up with Lynch? I said, I don't really I got contact with him. I'm going to see what's up. I can try to get a hold of him for you. He goes, yeah, man, do that, man, because I'm working on a compilation. If you can get a hold of Lynch, then I'm going to go ahead and I'll just put you on my compilation, and we'll make a song for you. And I was like, cool. All right, because we were at a guy named Donovan, his studio out in Woodland Hills. I think it's in Woodland, but the guy that he used to work with, his name was Donovan, and that's where Cocaine, the rapper Cocaine, he used to do all his music there, too. That's where NWA was doing his stuff. So after all that stuff was done, then I was trying to get a hold of Lynch, and stuff, trying to do it like that. But then, I didn't, once I started saying that Seb was really focusing, because I was so young, all I was just trying to do was get on. So I seen Seb was really trying to hold on to Seb or Lynch and trying to do things. And I seen his album being worked on, and Season of the Sickness, and that album was tight. And then Eazy-E died. I just really kicked back, and I wasn't really tripping. It was just happened the way it happened. But, that right there, it has so much stuff. We have long situations with how Black Market, because Black Market has history, and we all know that. It's just from back in the day when he was dealing with the guy named Rob Foster. They started that group a long time ago. I mean, the Black Market. He had a business partner, and the business partner that was with him, Robert Foster, ended up getting bought out because Rob Foster had money to start the company. And by him starting the company, once they got to a level of the game that he was solid and start making money, he found a way how to sidetrack him and get him out and push him out because, by law, it's a 60-40 thing. If it's not 50-50, you can own 60%, and that last little 10% would knock you out of your position. So he owned more of the label than Robert Foster did, so he bought him out and ended up owning Black Market on his own. And that's how all this stuff from here on and knocked that man out. That's why Fed had owned the label on his own. So it's so much thing, and then even Dr. Dre tried to buy that name, from them.
Man, this is history. This is wild shit.
Yeah, Dr. Dre, a lot of people know this, though. Dr. Dre tried to purchase the name Black Market Records. And now I'm going to just speak on what I do know. And some of the stuff is on point, and I'm not going to say anything that's not on point. But Black Market Records was on the target, on the radar for Dr. Dre. This before he was starting his label Aftermath. He looked around and he was like, I like the name Black Market, so I want to buy it. I think he was trying to buy it for like $1 million or $5 million. It was a lot of money though. And so Cedric turned it down. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, it's just a name. I understand it's a name that created a lot of hype and business, but if you are an extreme businessman, you're holding on to something that can be rebuilt. So why don't you just sell the name, to get your money from Dr. Dre, and tell him all the artists on the label, I want beats, 2 or 3 beats a piece for each artist on my label so I can reestablish that. So I want my money and beats from you, and then I'll sell you the name, and then we can go ahead and reestablish the company and put out Dr. Dre beats on all my artists' albums. And then we can blow the name back up. He'll be financially situated. He can pay all his artists, and we can do it as a unit and do it as a family-orientated business, and we can grow. But did he do that? No, he did not do that. His plan was hold on to his name because that's all he felt like he had. He didn't want to work, and he felt like he built it this much, and that's what it was. But as my folks from Fubu, Keith and everybody, they sold Fubu to another company, but still owned a small percentage of it and opened up Coogee. You know,
Wow.
and Lab Kings, or not Lab Kings, but there is another company called Kings, but I learned them from not Black Market Records, but from the Magic Show. But they ended up selling their company and getting more money to open up another company that's doing well than Fubu, because now Fubu don't even deal with nobody wears Fubu anymore. So that's what I'm saying, and not to skip the subject, it's just just how Cedric could have did it. He could have did it how Fubu did it, sold the name and then bubbled and did something else and fed everybody. But he just let the name go downhill, and now he's trying to rebuild the name. So it kind of reminds me of you buying a raggedy ass house now, and then you're trying to build onto it with bad product with the same builders you've been trying to use to build the last house that fell down.
Man, this is fascinating shit, man. But you know what? I want to get into some music, and then I got somebody else that's supposed to be coming in at 8:30. So I want to just wrap this up with you real quick. I want to tell you, man, your music you remind me of the West Coast DMX when you rap.
Thank you, man. And when you say that, that means a lot, because DMX, when people say that DMX is crackhead and DMX needs to do this, DMX needs to do that, I got so much respect for DMX, because if he is a crackhead, he's a very respectful, powerful, motivative, innovating type of dude. I mean, come on now. What crackhead can be that amazing to still rock a house? I looked on the internet online and see he rocked a house about a million people down there. Tilted still. Man. So I appreciate for you saying that.
Well, and I mean musically, you know what I'm saying? Just your whole delivery puts me in mind of especially tracks like Get 'Em. You know, you sound, very animated. It's almost conversational. So I'm loving the delivery. But so, man, I want to wrap this up with you, and then we're going to jump into a little of your music, and then we'll come back with my other guest. So,
okay.
But man, I appreciate you coming on, and this archive will be up, and when it is, I'll share it on your wall.
Right.
So
let's make it happen.
And we will do this again, man. You got a lot here, so this isn't going to be the last interview we'll do with you.
Yeah, exactly. And to wrap this up, I'll just say to everybody that's out there and doing this music thing, don't always run to a label to try to help you out, because labels are doing exactly what you're doing the same distribution, getting people. All they're doing is getting people to, put their music out there like that. If you need to get a label, go to a Wells Fargo, because that's what a record label is a bank loan, and that's all they're going to do. Go to Wells Fargo, go to Bank of America, get your money, and go help yourself out, or get somebody that's looking out for you, another investor, and put your music out. And if you're trying to get some CDs pressed up, go to my boy JDK, and go, and he'll help you out with isomedia.com, or go to go to JDK the Underboss on Facebook and request your music to be pressed up, and he'll hook you up through isomedia.com, and he'll press you up for a player price, and you can put your music out yourself. You know what I mean? And believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else is. And that's just how I'm going to end this conversation.
Nice. Man, beautiful. Well, you know what? Like I said, we're going to do this again. You got a lot of info and ammo and good stuff, man. So I definitely want to have you back on, and we'll be in touch, man, because I want to talk to you about getting Homicide on at some point too.
Oh yeah, I can make that happen.
So,
yeah. And I do want to tell people, follow me on Facebook at Chopah Got Racks, ChopahGotracks, and then follow me on Instagram at Chopah Got Racks, ChopahGotracks. And then one more thing, because I know I'm eating up other people's time. Go to YouTube and type in The Real Chopah and check out my new video, CEO, and hit them with the flames, and just go on my channel and follow the rest of the videos and have a blessed time doing it.
Man, so what's the first track we got up there by him, Jerkman? Get him. Oh, good. They'll like this one, too.
Yeah.
This is probably one of my favorites. All right, Chopah, thank you, man. Thank you for coming on, and we'll do it again.
All right. And then thank you for having me, man. And y'all take care.
Yes, sir.
Short, cool, and power, haircut having ass motherfucker. Little Angela Davis, mustache wearing ass motherfucker. Little Richard Pryor, short cut, fade having around the side wearing motherfucker. Little Sammy Davis, Award Jr. afro, haircut having ass motherfucker. Little Dynamite, Disco Danny, devastating. Little Don Cornelius with a haircut.
Gentlemen, if you don't mind, I'd like you to sit down. I would like to continue. Yes.
Get him. Oh.
I'm coming up.
Get him. Oh. Get him. Oh.
Chop dog going.
Get him. Oh.
I take him by surprise with a mic in my left hand and an iced out wristband with circles around you twice, dropping where you stand. I elevated sky high through the money and envy, and I got the remedy in the HK to clear everything up in vicinity. I walk with the power of a lion, I'm a leader, not a follower. Fair warning, little bitches, when you see me coming, yeah, I'ma swallow ya. Standing alone when I'm dropping them down. Easily to be ignited, stand away from getting indicted. Mike Stripes come from the streets, the military put on black and get united. You niggas in luck tough, I ain't got a deal yet, but your time is up. I gave you enough space and you still ain't coming real yet. When you thought it was safe to call yourself the best and the great, that's when I creep up like a virus and bring your ass out of shape. You niggas have got me fucked up. I'm speaking real loud like a reverend. I'm unforgettable, spittable, analytical, let everything trickle to being monumental. I try to keep a good attitude with these silly niggas, but life is too short. I never take my head off and give it to a fake nigga. I can't be stepped on, I'm a trench in a pothole. Throw off your equilibrium, boy, you can't fuck on me when I'm on chest mode. I'm done reaching out to a nigga who's scared to network, but really don't want to get lyrically embarrassed. Career crushed and they feelings hurt. Face dropping shit like a full bird, you know the word. 91 octane when I spit, no need to touch it, boy, you'll get self-served. Lord, please forgive me, I had to go bad for a minute and air it out like a bad poop that smells just like old spinach. The work that I spit is not to be televised. Take a lyrical bully by the collar, slam him, then look the other one in his eye. I'm shooting up to the top like a rocket, don't try to stop it. Strategize on my every move, silly fools to understand how to make profit. My mother said, son, you're gonna be robbers to the day of death. Cause when it comes to being solid, you're one out of a chosen few left.
Get him. Get him.
I'm a giant in this motherfucker. Yes, well, you can have it. You wanna rumble through the city like a giant, knocking over buildings. Everybody running at your throat like a line. Put my fist through the roof, yeah, I'm feeling so defined. People say that I'm a menace, so I break it down to a science. So I want you giants with your hands in the air. Whip them side to side, slap a plane up the air. Crush a hater with your thumb, make it look a little fun. Stepping over bridges, you don't really want none. Travel all around the world in a few steps, grabbing every microphone, leaving every stage wreck. Got the military planes aiming at a brother's chest, put the TV on my hoodie, made the bullets reflect. I'm a bigger figure, little nigga, always off balance. Got him hiding on the ground with the light, looking for some talents like a hole in the ground. Pick him up, put him to my eyes and let him know that you can never be a challenge. Looking through the building, seen the haters in the elevator, never wanna see me come up when I'm coming to the top. See you later, I'm the type of get the money, tuck away for a rainy day, leave the bank like a funny. Everybody wants to know about me. When they see my stickers stomping through the street to the beat, shaking all the building to the ground, raising concrete. Sitting on the bank while I'm touching all you suckers in my path, taking shots at the ammo when I laugh, cause I'm causing major damage to the planet. Even Janet Jackson can't control when a brother gets mad. Right, little fella, I don't know what to tell you, but the small things to a giant hardcore gorillas get the ripping through the streets like a psychopath maniac, kicking over trucks, watch the land on your door, man. Oh, I got it raining money. All up in my hood, these haters think you explosive, trying to get you good. Right, little fella, I don't know what to tell you, but a small thing to a giant hardcore gorilla, cause I'm ripping through the streets like a psychopath maniac, kicking over trucks and watch the land on your door, man. I got it raining money, all up in my hood, these haters think you explosive, trying to get you good. Right, little fella, I don't know what to tell you, but a small things to a giant hardcore gorilla, cause I'm ripping through the streets like a psychopath maniac, kicking over trucks and watch the land on your door, man. Pulling on cars, helicopters coming from the stars, trying to stop a giant in the track, arms swinging like a titty, water finning, and I'm bending all the metal from the chopper with the close vision, going real far. Looking all around, I'm seeing coming left and right, so I'm ducking, dodging bullets, let them take their own life, cause I gotta focus on the bigger picture, never scared, little nigga, put my foot down, tidal wave on you niggas. Water through the city and the real people stay afloat, trying to get the safety, knocking haters as they vote, cause I'm coming with the vendors like a missile with a whistle, taking imitators out, trying to take me as a joke. I ain't playing just a little, slap a faulty record label, building to the ground, throw the finger through the window of the studio and shut it down. So you better bow down to the roof of the barbershop and throw it to the town. Then when they see me fall to the ground, tie my legs up, hella people standing all around, put the fire to my flesh, but they messing with the best. I'ma tell you right now, you would never see me swooping through a last. Doing damage to the planet, Godzilla came, man, it's when I touched him by the tail, throwing watch his ass vanish, and a brush of dust off my guy rack, feeling extra managed, hover like an eagle, sucker niggas can't stand. Swooping down on the prey, never defeated is a habit. When you look into my eyes, you can see it's getting drastic, you can run, but I'm jumping over mountains and I'm pouncing every single club that'll keep the sickest pouncing. I'm a giant in the building, I don't care what you thinking, but I see you looking up, destroying cities every weekend, big steps, taking everything moving, never snoozing, gotta have aggressive attitude, if not, then I'm losing. I got it raining money, all up in my hood, these haters think you explosive, trying to get you good. Right, little fella, I don't know what to tell you, but a small thing to a giant hardcore gorilla, cause I'm ripping through the streets like a psychopath maniac, kicking over trucks and watch the land on your door, man. I got it raining money, all up in my hood, these haters think you explosive, trying to get you good. Right, little fella, I don't know what to tell you, but a small things to a giant hardcore gorilla, cause I'm ripping through the streets like a psychopath maniac, kicking over trucks and watch the land on your door, man. Set a little roadblock, keep your doors locked, police yelling through the bullhorn, and it don't stop. Wanna put me on my knees, fill me up with bullets like bow ties. Gotta wake up early in the morning just to get a clean shot. Trying to get me slipping while I'm leaning on the mountain, trying to catch a cool breeze, but they took me out my element, slap him out the sky, catch him before he hit the ground, then I throw his ass in the trees. Speaking in a loud voice, who wants next? Trying to be the tough guy, you're city, y'all wrecked. You can get the submarine, but I split it down the middle when I shake the people out just to get it off my chest. In order to be the best, you gotta think against arrest, take advantage, proper situation, taking nothing less. People come from every angle, ready to go and start a mess, but I came to cut it up like a really mad chef. I always stand for something and I never fall for anything, so get up on my way before I have to come and ruin things. Coming to get the money, so don't treat me like a dummy. I'm all about my business with a land of milk and honey. Every single step I take, I'm closer to my goal. On a mission like a rich man, pockets on swole. Hate a sucker with a passion, so his body all fold. Give his legs to the fishes, yep, the city gotta go. Got it raining money, all up in my hood. These haters think you explosive, trying to get you good. Right, little fella, I don't know what to tell you, but a small thing to a giant hardcore gorilla, cause I'm ripping through the streets like a psychopath maniac, kicking over trucks and watch the land on your door, man. I got it raining money, all up in my hood. These haters think you explosive, trying to get you good. Right, little fella, I don't know what to tell you, but a small things to a giant hardcore gorilla, cause I'm ripping through the streets like a psychopath maniac, kicking over trucks and watch the land on your door, man.
Yee! What up, though? It's the undeniable JT Money, a.k.a. the Bitchizer, and you tuned in to STIM Radio with Maxwell Silverhammer and GJ the Jerk Man. Heavy that. And guess what? They hate hoes almost as much as I do. So don't sleep on these cats. And speaking of sleeping, don't forget to check out my new single, Hustling, from my new project, Morning Wood. It's going down heavy, baby. And speaking of being out, I'm out like a busted traffic like you already know. Get him, Jay!
We think it's the banning of
We are anonymous. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. My boy Maxwell Silverhammer and my bottom bitch Jerk Man will set you straight with some good old true shit and none of that shit that irks me. Hey Maxie baby, I still got them videos. You fill my cereal port perfectly. Bitch.
Back to the STIM radio show with the man behind the mic has been known to take down a couple planes just by his bald head, Maxwell Silverhammer.
Yeah, bitch. They call me the Lighthouse for a reason. So, we got Hamster in the building. Hey, Hamster.
Hey.
And, of course, you didn't want to be on camera because you didn't do your hair or whatever.
No. I just had a couple of questions. And
you didn't like Chopper's music?
That's it. Throw her on the spot, right? Yeah, 70 years old and she's over here dancing to it.
Yeah, right. Right.
Well, okay.
Not my kind of music.
Oh, okay. All right.
Neither was Metallica or any of those other ones. So they don't have to feel, slighted.
Okay. So it's kind of all in the same group.
Yeah,
right?
for me it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. So what happened? What was your deal today?
Okay. I have a question for you.
You're going to start out with this one? Or you're going to love this one?
Okay, all right.
Should I start out with the first one?
I think you should start out with the call.
The call.
The call.
Okay. All right. Well, there's a lot of stuff out there where people tell you that you can do this and you can do that, and a lot of people don't have insurance, and so you'll have
you have Medicaid, you have Nevada Healthcare, Nevada Link,
Nevada Checkup,
yeah,
all this
fun
stuff.
crap.
Okay, so if you don't have insurance and you're out of a job, or even if you're not with the Obamacare and everything, you have to go sign up for something so you have insurance, whether you pay for it or they give it to you or whatever the story is. Okay.
Okay.
So I have a question for you. Now, if somebody would say to you that you need to sign up with NevadaHealthLink.com, what would you think?
I'd be thinking that they're pushing me to sign up, like they worked for them or something.
Okay, but what would you think of the company? What do you think it would be?
Sounds like a telemarketer, a telemarketing scam.
Wow.
Check it out.
He's not too far off.
Check it out.
So what happened? What was the deal?
Okay, well, so most of the people, when they're told that, the first thing they think about is, okay,
it's a healthcare provider.
Because that was the only option they gave you, right? They didn't say you got to sign up with either Medicaid.
No, you have these options.
You have these options.
But Nevada Health Link is supposed to supposedly be an option. You would think.
Okay.
You think it would be a program provider,
right? Like the Medicare and the checkup.
Right, all that.
Only the Nevada Link would be something to...
Health Link. It would be Lincoln.
A lot of people's understanding of it is it's a health link, but it's part of the Obamacare, and you have to... It's one that you would have to pay for.
Oh.
Okay.
So conveniently.
But that's not the case.
But that isn't the case.
Oh.
Now... to investigate, she called up.
Yeah, so today I thought, okay, I don't understand all this stuff, so I'm going to call up and find out what the difference is between all this stuff. So I get on the phone, and they make me wait for
about 25 minutes.
25 minutes, and finally this lady comes on, and she's from another country.
She speaks like this. Hello, may I help you?
Oh, it was one of those.
Yes. So, okay, so I'm trying to give her my name, which I really didn't need to because I'm not looking for it. I just wanted the questions answered.
Trying to give her name. Yeah, now let me
Go ahead
I was
with
shaking
that
my
one.
head. I walked away and laughed at least 5 fucking times, walked back. She said, "What's your name?" She gives her name. And she goes, "Is that your last name?"
Oh.
And she said, "Yeah, that's the last name." "Why is that your middle name then?" No, that's the last name.
So she has no fucking clue.
So she's, because the word camel or something wasn't in it, I guess it threw her off. I'm not exactly sure, but it was outsourced
So then
to
when
another country.
Yeah, so then when I give her my first name, she goes, "Is that your last name?"
Oh, wow.
It took about 5 minutes.
5 minutes
just
to
to
get
her
it.
to understand what her name was and what sequence.
And I had to spell it, and each time I spelled it and explained to her it was
She would
my
stop
first
her
and my last, she
and have her
would stop
spell it
me.
again and ask, "Is that your last name?"
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
That's got to be
I
frustrating.
mean, I shook my head at first. I was like, "Wow, there's candid phone stuff going on right now." Alan Funt's great grandson now is doing candid funk shit on the phone.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
See, I thought it was like a prank call, right?
Well, I thought, how can you be that goddamn fucking dumb?
It was just, and I was spelling it out, and I was explaining. I'd spell it and say, "This is my first name," and then I'd spell my last name, and I'd say, "That's my last name."
And you said, "Oh, but that your first name?"
Oh my God!
It's the first of the last. You're gonna fucking hear it, you dumb bitch. What the hell?
So wait a minute. Now this is American Obama healthcare.
And
shit.
amazing, it's outsourced to India.
To India. Oh,
So
wow.
so for us to get healthcare in the United States, we got to call India and ask them how we can get it.
Oh, that's great. So India's handling everything, every claim,
Yeah,
all
pretty
that
much.
shit.
So a lot
Here
of
comes
people
the
are,
best
a
part.
lot of people are misled by this. They're thinking that
Hey, did the lights just go off and
yeah,
on?
they did.
Okay.
Oh, wow. That was interesting.
Okay, NSA's like, "Oh, we're gonna cut this one off at the head."
I know. They're really got us
Feel the
now.
power in that building.
but it's what is so really strange about it is so many people are confused with it. They're thinking Medicaid is you go to the welfare
I was under the
office.
understanding, at least what I had thought at one time, that was actually just a healthcare provider. Okay, so it says link. I figured it was a health link, linking you to.
Yeah, that's what
and
a lot
actually,
of people think.
It kind of is, but what it comes down to is, because she will say this too slow, and I want to get this the hell out already.
All right, go ahead, say it.
Okay, so what happened was she gives this person a call. We go through the whole fucking name thing for about five to 10 minutes at least.
Right.
Then she gets on and she says, "Okay." She goes, "I have a couple questions about this," and the lady goes, "Okay," and she asked a question. She said, "What is this? And what kind of insurance is this?" and stuff like that. "I will give you a number to who you need to call for the proper information."
So she has no idea. She can't tell you shit.
She knows nothing.
Nothing.
So she said, "Well, you're telling me I called you to get a number to call somebody that knows what the hell is going on."
Which I already have the numbers. I said,
And they're already listed on there. She goes, "But let me give you the number." And Carol's like, so wait a minute, one more time. Let me get this straight. I'm calling you. I've waited 25 minutes on the phone. Talk to you all this time for you to tell me you're not knowledgeable of anything. All you have is phone numbers to give me, which are written on this fucking paper right here.
I didn't say F.
No,
I said on the
I
paper.
added that in. I like to ad lib
I
once in
know
a while.
you do.
So, and she's going, "Yes." So Carol goes, "So what you're telling me is you're pretty much useless." And the lady says, yeah, I guess so."
Oh.
She admitted. I said, "Oh my God, why wasn't I recording
His
this?"
mouth dropped to the.
Oh, that's where you guys.
I actually said it. She probably heard me. I said, "She just admitted she's useless."
You guys fucked up. You should have YouTubed this and all.
But we didn't record it. I didn't have it recorded.
That's what I'm saying. You should have been recording this.
Never even
crazy
knew
shit.
they were going to say that, because to me, I was thinking, okay, this is the health care, the Obama health care, and what you do is they tell you how
what you need to do
how
to get this
you can
started.
sign up, how you get it started,
She
and
has
how much
no
you have to
information.
pay, and all this and that. No, it's nothing. It's just we call another country for them to tell us
Which is
to
amazing
call
to me,
back here in
because
the
think about this,
States
like
to
we
the
t-
people that's already written on the paper. So
Okay.
why did I have to call Nevada Health Link to find out that I needed to call?
Oh, but she did give you help with one thing. She says, "If you would like to find out more information, you can go to nevadaairlink.gov."
Wow.
I'm like, so...
Yeah.
So-
Government's doing business with the Middle East.
I almost said, golly gee, really? Can I go? Is that a website, sir?
So all
What
these,
the
so
fuck,
all
a
these
website?
people out there are getting confused with it. They're thinking once they go into this, so don't get on the
I'm
phone.
like really hot right now. I don't know why I'm hot. But
And wait for somebody in another country where they're.
And here's the question.
I don't know if I should say
and
this.
here, no, I'm going to. I am going to.
Oh,
Here's the
you're gonna
question
say-
I fucking have.
All right.
Okay, we're in a poor goddamn country right now. Everybody's forced to get goddamn health care, and if not, it goes to the IRS, which is all this stuff running through all this bullshit. So now we're in a country where people don't have fucking jobs. Why did we outsource our fucking jobs to India when it could have been a fucking Americans working it?
Well, and see, this is what's so funny about this, because you notice they always back outsourcing. Well, it's cheaper.
It doesn't matter. Support your goddamn country.
It's money laundering.
I agree.
Money laundering. It's the only way they can put their money into somebody else's country and not have to.
The government is collecting off of this. They're taking the people. They're taking more taxes out for this Obamacare. At the same time, they are taking it and saving money and sending it over there. Right. Now, you're still paying for your health insurance. If you don't have it, the coverage is, if it's minimal or whatever it is, you're still paying. Plus, you're being taxed for this. So now they found a way to save money. Where is that money going that they're saving, outsourcing to another motherfucking country, which could have been kept in our own goddamn country to feed our own fucking people?
And obviously, it's going over there to feed the globalists.
Exactly right. It's money laundering.
It is, because I need to call another country to find out how to call my United States to find out what I need to know that they don't know.
And the fact they've got no clue. So how many people are staffed through all these fucking agencies over there that have no clue what's going on? Yeah. They'll give you a phone number, which is written down on the goddamn fucking paper,
they know.
And they are getting paid for this.
So it's so counterproductive. Why?
Gee, you think?
It's to spend $5 to save one.
But see,
that mentality.
Well, the mentality actually is a way to rake in cash from us and spend little going out, shipping it to another country, which I'm sure pretty soon we'll go over and invade and get our cash back anyhow that they'll put in their goddamn pockets. Oh, yeah. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit.
Oh, yeah. No question.
I'm just concerned with the people, especially the older people who get this paper and they're sitting there and they're thinking, oh, okay, Nevada Health Link. That means they're going to link me up to health care.
There are old people right now that are on the phone with those people, and they will probably die
before they get the right
they understand what the fucking right person to call.
Yeah.
Well, it's stupid. It's like, okay, they sent you over. What was their whole purpose of trying to get your name?
Because that's a tracking device. That's all that is. Because
I
told her, I was even telling her, I said, Carol, you don't need to give me you don't need to give me full fucking name. Why do you need to give me your name?
Yeah, if you don't have any info for me, then why should I give
you
my name?
They won't tell you anything until you give them your full name.
And if you're not the one applying, if you're just looking, because they're looking for information.
Yeah. They need to find out how to track who's calling and where they're located.
ISIS has got to. ISIS and ISIL's got to know how much money they've made to pay back to the CIA, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
We got it over here for you, Mr. Conductor.
But the funniest part of the whole thing is when I said to her, that.
And she actually,
said yes.
I should have been wearing a diaper. I think I almost shit myself when she sat and said to me, yeah, I guess so. I'm like, whoa, son of a bitch. One of the times I could have been fucking recording something, I would have had a field day with that.
She didn't even know. She goes, yeah, I guess so.
Wow. Hey, she understood that much.
But that's what I'm saying. I was just getting ready to say that. She's smarter than 3/4 of the United States citizens. She at least realized she's fucking useless.
Right,
that's really sad.
I'm just here doing a job, sir, ma'am.
Yeah, I've been hired by your government.
Your government. It's a wonder she didn't say, talk to your government and find out why I'm doing this job.
And like you said, everybody here is unemployed.
Yeah.
Nobody's working, but yet they're giving jobs.
Unemployment is at the highest rate ever. We are headed towards possibly a civil war. We have all the stuff, the whole globe is pretty much at war right now. We're literally at the beginning of World War III. It just has not been announced.
Now listen. I want to tell you how it goes. It says, if you and your family members are determined to be ineligible for Medicare.
Determined to be?
Yeah, now listen.
Wait a minute. You mean, are you?
Are determined.
Are determined to be.
Determined to be ineligible.
Determined
wait.
means you're headed and you want that.
Let me finish.
What the fuck kind of wording's that?
Listen. For Medicaid or Nevada checkup, you may still qualify for help paying for health insurance from the federal government. A referral will be sent to Nevada Health Link. For additional information, go on to Nevada Health Link or call them. Okay, now listen. All right, what right there it tells you you may qualify for health insurance from the federal government.
Okay.
Okay, so you've just got to send a refer to. No, it's not. You got to set. You got to. It's telling you.
It's private insurance companies is what it is.
It's telling you that Nevada Health Link is supposed to be an alternative to these other two, since you don't. And
you smell that?
It's
what the heck? No. It smells like a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, pretty much.
So then you get to the back of the thing, the paper, and it gives you two groups to go to.
Yeah, fuck you and you're fucked.
AmeriGroup and Health Plan of Nevada.
Oh.
Health Plan of Nevada.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Now, that is funny, but it tells you, it misleads you by saying, you'll get help paying if Medicaid and Nevada Checkup, which they give you different
I thought
things.
Nevada Checkup was for children.
Apparently it's now for adults or seniors. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people walk around with the IQ of a 4-year-old, so
for help paying for health insurance from the federal government. So that's telling me
if anybody
that
out there is offended by that,
Nevada Health Link, that's telling me that they've got some way of hooking me up and taking my qualifications.
Yo, they will hook you up in shits.
That's the hookup.
Yeah, you got the hookup. It's Obama shit.
How fucked up? I mean, how do you even get anything done like that?
You don't. That's
you
the
don't.
whole.
That's it. They just send you around in circles and circles.
It's more
and
periodic.
Circles. Yeah,
It's just bullshit.
And you don't get anything. And all these people are frustrated. They can't get care. So that way, if they confuse you and you don't have insurance, which you're supposed to have, you get fined.
Okay, let's play.
You get fined for.
Let's play this out. Okay.
Okay.
Now you get on.
He's riled up.
You get on and you were confused. Am I correct? So if you're confused with this, it takes you longer to get on. And you were right. Now at this point, you've waited all these months. Now you're being fined by the IRS, which has nothing to do with fucking healthcare.
Yeah.
So you're getting fined by the IRS. And at the same time, everybody else is still getting taxed for the Obamacare to come out. So you have not been covered. Now they've taken the tax dollars from them people and they've put it into this pile. Now they've taken the money that you've been fined and put it into this pile. But you have not personally received any fucking health care.
Right.
So how do you think this is a bad thing for them?
I just told you that lady over in that other country is getting it.
Actually, no.
Wow.
No, she's just a pawn.
No, yeah, I know.
She's probably she's probably over there barely feeding her fucking kid.
Yeah, she doesn't know. She doesn't know.
Bill Gates and Obama and Bush and all those guys are getting it.
Yeah, and I don't want everybody to know I'm not racist here. I'm not against other countries. That's not what I'm about.
It's not about that.
That's good that those people have a job and they're working and they're feeding their families, and I understand that. But what I'm saying is our government needs to pull its head out of its motherfucking ass, get their shit back the fuck together and call this a country again. And if you can't call it a country, you can't treat it like a country, get the fuck out, go to another goddamn country and get on a fucking call line and answer the calls for us from there.
There's the people that should be leaving. The ones that always say, oh, well, if you don't like it here, you can go elsewhere.
Yeah, why don't you go over to the other fucking countries?
Yeah,
work the call fucking.
Since you love how they do business with them so much.
Yeah,
this outsourcing thing is the best.
I'm sorry.
Thing ever.
I'm not fucking sorry. This was once a great country. This is falling apart, and if nobody likes what I have to fucking say, well,
it's sad for the people that don't understand, especially the older people who are trying to get.
Well, that's what Jerkman was saying. Here it is. They either give up and say fuck it, and then meanwhile they get fined by the IRS.
Yeah,
and they're confused. They're bottom line confused. Yeah. I'm not a dumbass, but I'm sitting there listening to all this, and when I called the Cancer Society, and I'm listening to all this, and at the end of that phone call, I almost walked out and said, does anybody got a fucking gun? Because I would like to shoot myself right now.
I'll tell you, even with insurance, when they tell you shit, I don't understand that.
Well, they're telling me about the premium plan, the fucking gold plan, the platinum plan, the fucking Argentinian plan, the fucking your ass will be stretched plan. Every fucking and I'm like, my God. And he's like, well, if you get this plan doesn't cover this. But what it'll do is your premiums will be higher. Whenever your premiums are higher, then you have to pay a lower amount of a and I'm like,
you better calm down before you have a stroke. I can't take you to the hospital. You don't have health care.
That's okay. I'll just call up Nevada HealthLink. I'll be like, guess what?
Oh, then they're going to go, you had a stroke? Oh,
you had a stroke? What is a stroke? It's not written. Is that your first name?
How do you? I was going to say, how do you spell your name?
Oh, wow. On that note, bitches, I'm Maxwell Silverhammer. Who are you?
Who the hell are you?
Oh, I'm Hamster. I don't know what I'm doing.
She obviously works for a call center.
I guess.
I'm GJ, fucking sick of this shit jerk man.
And that's the story there, bitches. See ya.
Show.